We're back. Today, we will be rebuilding Sunderland. Maximum 5 seasons, minimum 3. The goal is to win the Premier League and win the Champions League with them. Hopefully, we can do it. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like and subscribe. Let's get into it. This is what the team is looking like in Season 1, the whole squad there. I think quite a lot of the players are quite underrated on this game, but of course, they have made some signings in real life. We'll be adding a few sales, and of course, there'll also be some departures. But looking at this team, first impressions is improvement is needed. First player coming through the door is Thomas Meunier. Of course, he's an experienced player, signed in on a free agent. Not really going to do much for us, not really going to play much, but of course, he was a player they signed in real life, so we had to sign him. And then following him is a player that I am excited to bring in, someone they've been heavily linked with in real life, might have signed him by the time this video is out. Dejan Mitali coming in, young left back in from Toulouse. He'll come in, he'll be a starter and hopefully be the main guy in that position for us over the next 5 years. Then into the signings that we have made ourselves. The first one is Ernest Poku, the young winger coming in from Bayer Leverkusen. He has a lot of potential. He will come in, be a starter, hopefully be a threat for us, and hopefully can develop into a top player over these next 5 seasons, which then brings us to our fourth and last signing, Flamingo. Ryan Flamingo coming in from PSV. He'll come in, he'll start for us instantly. The young centre-back, obviously, like I said, from PSV, come in, he'll start. Hopefully can last the 5 years of us and can develop into a very good player. What the transfer history looks like, Matt Young we've loaned out. Tutirov we have sold to Braga. Semedo we have loaned. Samuel we have sold. Rusin we have sold to Preston. Poku we have brought in. Pembele we sold. Neil we sold. Mundle we loaned out. Meunier, Mitali we brought in. Mayenda we sold. Huggins we sold. Leo we sold. Flamingo of course we brought in. Brown we sold. Angulo we loaned. Elise we sold. Alexis we loaned. There was a lot of business done there, as you can tell. Hopefully that transfer, business will see us be much better this season. A lot of players sold, a lot of players loaned. We've debloated the squad. Hopefully we can have a good year. This is the team going into Season 1. Brobe is the striker. Talbi out left. Lafi in the 10. Poku out right. Xhaka Siddique the midfield. Alderete, Ballard, Mukiele, and Mitali the back line with refs in net. This is what the bench is currently looking like. There are some decent players on the bench. Flamingo, new signing, of course, on the bench as well. I'm looking at this squad here. As a whole, as we go into Season 1, the expectations, I'll be honest, aren't high. I definitely don't think we'll get relegated. I think the goal with this team in Season 1, it's a random goal, just get top 14. The aim for Season 1, we're about to simulate it, is just get top 14. And we have reached the end of Season 1 and we have managed to achieve our goal. I wasn't too sure what to expect with this team, so I just said a random goal being top 14. We get ourselves 12th. We finished on a decent amount of points there. We weren't necessarily close to Europe, but we also weren't close to being relegated, which is roughly what I was expecting to happen. Not really much else to add in that first season. Didn't have high hopes, didn't have low expectations, just thought we'd be bang average. That's exactly what we were. In terms of stats, Brobe got 25 goals, by the way, ridiculous. Talbi got 17. Ernest Poku on his debut season got 11. Siddique got 10. Xhaka got 9 goals, which is ridiculous for his age. Talbi got 9. Siddique got 7 assists. Xhaka 7 assists. Lafi 6 assists. Now, I'm looking at this team here at the end of Season 1. I think we could really add another winger, potentially back up to Talbi. I'm also thinking maybe we need a better centre-back in the sense of depth to provide that backup, and then potentially also bring in a centre-mid to provide backup to Siddique and Diarra. So we'll probably go and bring in 3 or 4 new players for the Season 2, and hopefully that can strengthen the squad and see us do a lot better than 12. Season 2, our board have given us a budget of 46 million, which in fairness really isn't that great. If we're to sign 3 or 4 new players, like I said, we would be hoping for more money than that. So we're going to have to try and make some sales, try and find a way to generate more money, and then potentially bring in, like I said, 3 or 4 new players. They won't all be starters. Some will just be to improve that depth. First man coming through the door in Season 2 is Arne Engels. We have signed him in from Celtic. He's a young midfielder. He'll come in, be that backup, like I said, to Diarra and Siddique. Hopefully he can develop and become a very, very solid backup for us over these next 4 seasons. And then following him is a backup centre-back who we have brought in from Tottenham, Ashley Phillips. Young player, hopefully he can develop and, like Engels, become a very solid, very good backup for us over these next 4 seasons. And then the third and final signing is Kentin Njantu coming in from PSG. He will start off probably as the backup winger to Talbi, potentially could push on and become a starter, we will see. But ultimately this season, what we ended up doing here is we've just improved the depth, and hopefully we can see that lead to us being a better team in Season 2. Here is the transfer history in Season 2. Semedo we sold, Tabi we sold, 09 we sold, Silt we sold, and we brought in Phillips, Njantu, and Arne Engels. So here's the team in Season 2. Brobbey, Tabi, Poku formed the front three, with Lefebvre and Siddiqui and Diarra being the midfield three behind them, with Flamingo and Ballard the centre-back partners, and Mukiele, Matali the fullbacks, and Rufs, who's 83 rated now, in net. The bench looks decent, and Njantu's on the bench, of course. Phillips will be on the bench. Don't worry, we'll move him on the bench. And, of course, as well as Arne Engels. So that's the new signings all coming in, providing depth. And hopefully, you know, we can push on with players developing and better depth. I would say this season, the aim, we're about to simulate it. The aim is to just get top 10. Nothing too ambitious, but with this squad, I think top 10 is reasonable. Reached the end of Season 2, and we have finished 9th in the league. Once again, back-to-back seasons, we've hit the aim. Top 10 was the target. We finished 9th. We've done very well there, getting 59 points. And we were very, very close to getting European football. Only 2 points there of Newcastle, who were sitting in 6th. It's a very solid season. In fact, in terms of points, that's a lot better than I was expecting us to do. With the players continuing to develop and transfers in Season 3, we could have a very good season next season. Also made a cup final, made the FA Cup final. Unfortunately, lost that out on that one though. We lost on penalties. We were so close to winning a trophy with Sunderland in Season 2, but unfortunately for us, we lost on penalties 5-3. And Liverpool also won the Carabao Cup there, doing the domestic cup double, beating Derby County 3-1. In terms of player stats, Brobbey top scorer again with 19. Poku better this season, got 18. Then it's a drop. Siddiqui, Engels, and Njantu all getting themselves 7 goals this season, with Tabi getting 8 assists, Siddiqui 6 assists, Poku gets himself 6 assists, Engels and then Diarra 3 and 2 assists. Looking at this squad here, end of Season 2, don't worry, Tabi is still part of the team, and he did start Season 2. But we're probably looking at benching him as he's just not developed for whatever reason in this save. No idea why. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking we need a new starting left winger probably. And I'm also looking at the fullbacks role, and I think we don't have ourselves a backup left back. So we will also be looking in to bring a backup left back as depth for Matali. So it's going to be a new starting winger to improve on Njantu and Tabi, and then a backup to Matali at left back. Season 2, we've done a lot better than I thought, right? So we've reached the end. We're now in Season 3. But I decided I wanted to keep the base of the squad, try and keep as many players as possible. And like I said prior there, we're only going to try and bring in 2 signings. This team finished 9th last season, 2 off Europe. I'm not going to try and change too much. I'm going to try and keep the core, bring in 2 players, and hopefully with development and backing financially from the board, we can see a much better season or an improvement, because we were good in 2 in Season 3. So the first player coming in Season 3 is Jamie Bino Gittins, coming in from Chelsea. We splashed 46 odd million on him. He'll come in, 83 rated, be a star winger for us. He'll start for us straight away, and hopefully in Season 3, 4 and 5, we can see him develop into a world beater and a top player. And then the next man coming in, like I said, bringing in a backup left back, we've decided Fran Garcia coming in from Real Madrid, 17.5 million. He's out of favour there. We've brought him in. He'll be playing regularly. Well, I say regularly, rotating in and out every now and then when Matali needs rest or if he gets injured as our backup left back. In terms of the transfer history, like I said, I wanted to keep the core as we done decent the prior season. So we've only brought in Gittins and Garcia for a combined 63.7 million. And then we sold Simon Adingra for 25 million to Tottenham. This is how the team looks. Brobbey, Poku, Gittins, Engels, Siddiqui, Diarra, Flamingo and Ballard, Mukiele, Matali, and then Rufs in there. The bench is looking pretty good. That 11 looks a lot better, of course. Of course, there are a few players there on the reserves as well. And Njantu, we will put on the bench. Don't worry about that. But we have quite a lot of wingers right now. But I'm looking at this team here, and I look at this and I think, why not push for Europe? We finished 9th last season. We were 2 points off Europe. We've got a lot better with Gittins now being the starter. The players will continue developing. So looking at this team as we simulate Season 3, the goal is to go and get ourselves top 6. Reached the end of Season 3. And once again, back-to-back seasons, we have reached our goal. The goal was top 6. We've managed to get ourselves 5th. We were only 5 points off Champions League football, but we'll be playing Europa League football next season. This team is doing very, very good so far. We haven't changed too much about the squad yet. So come the end of Season 3, we've managed to get ourselves top 5, which once again was better than I set out. And in Season 4, we will be playing in the Europa League. FA Cup winners were our rivals Newcastle as they beat Arsenal 2-1 in the final. The stats end of Season 3, Brobbey 3 years in a row. Once again, our top scorer, but he hasn't really developed how we'd like to, so we might swap him out. Poku got 11, Gittins got 9, Engels with 8, Diarra got 5 goals, Gittins got 7 assists, Poku 5 assists, Engels 4 assists, Siddiqui with 3, and Matali got 2 assists. I'm looking at this team here, and like I said, unfortunately, Brobbey just hasn't developed. No way are we going to sell him. But I think he might have to drop to be a backup, as 81 in Europa League football just won't cut it. We're going to bring in a starting striker probably, potentially a new starter midfielder as well. And then I also think we're going to look to bring in a centre-back that could either be a starter or depth, but very likely we're also going to look to push for a starter centre-back. So going into this season, we're going to be trying to sign a starter striker, starter midfielder, and a new starting centre-back on top of that. But in order to achieve all them things and bring in all those starters, we're going to need a lot of money. And our board have done exactly that and have backed us with 125 million alongside some player sales. We're going to have a very big sum of money to spend here going into season 4 to improve that attack, midfield and defense. First player we have brought in is Pio Esposito, coming in as a striker from Real Sociedad. Cost us just under 50 million. He's 84 rated. Young striker, will come in. Hopefully he can develop in 4 and 5, but he'll automatically be an improvement on Brobbey in season 1. And then following him is Eduardo Quaresma, and I've decided this guy can play right back and centre back. I think we're going to shift Mukiele central and actually play him as a right back, and he'll be our new starting right back coming in from Sporting for around 37 million. And then the third and final signing, a new starting midfielder. He comes in from Chelsea, Romeo Lavia. Hopefully he doesn't have any injury problems like he does in real life. He cost us 45 million. He'll come in and he'll start, and he'll be an improvement on our midfield, and then either one of Siddiqui or Diarra will drop as backup. The season 4 transfer history, Quaresma comes in as a new right back, Lavia and Esposito, those are our 3 signings. We sold Mundle, sold Angulo, sold Isidore, and also sold Adarete. Here's the lineup in season 4, Esposito, Gittins and Poku the front 3, with Diarra, Siddiqui, Lavia being the midfield 3, Mukiele, Flamingo centre backs, Quaresma, Matele our fullbacks with Russ in net. The bench is looking very solid now as well. I'm looking at this lineup here, this team, and it's a big improvement on what it was in season 3 and any season prior to that. And based on that, the goal going into this season, as we're about to simulate season 4, is to just secure ourselves Champions League football and make sure we get top 4. We've almost reached the end of season 4, but we've been cut short, as you can see, we have made the Europa League final against Juventus. This is a massive chance to win a major trophy with Sunderland and also guarantee ourselves Champions League qualification, as we don't know how we're doing in the league yet. The lineup for the game against Juventus: Esposito up top with Gittins, Poku on the wings, Siddiqui, Diarra and Lavia the midfield 3, with Flamingo, Mukiele the centre backs, with Quaresma and Matali the fullbacks. Matali 87 rated, by the way, and then Russ, who's 89 rated, by the way, in net. This is a very strong 11. I can see why we made the final, but now we're about to play the game against Juventus. Fingers crossed we're able to win. First half, not much really happened. Goes into the break 0-0. Neither team really with any big chances. It's all going to be on the second half and potentially extra time and penalties depending on how that goes. 65th minute here. Diarra has the ball. He's played it off to Poku, who's dribbling with it. He's dinked it over the top to Siddiqui, who on the half volley buries it past the Juventus goalkeeper, and Siddiqui, an OG Sunderland player who of course plays them in real life, has scored in the 67th minute, and he's made it 1-0 Sunderland in the Europa League final. And right at the end of the game here, 91st minute, Poku with the ball, insane skill there, nutmegging his man, and he shoots. It was saved. What a goal that would have been. But that is that. It's the end of the game. We win 1-0. We win the Europa League final. We have qualified, guaranteed to the Champions League, but more importantly, have won ourselves a major trophy with Sunderland. Look at the players there celebrating. What a moment as we managed to win the Europa League in season 4. Here's the trophy lift. I should have picked a real life Sunderland player as captain, like Russ or something. Oh well. Flamingo lifting the trophy, our first major trophy with Sunderland. We lost the FA Cup final, but this time we win a final and win a major trophy. 2030 Europa League winners, first major trophy with Sunderland, guarantees us though, very importantly, Champions League football in season 5, as that is our main goal, winning the Champions League and winning the Premier League. So winning this allows us to have a chance at that next season. Thank the Lord we did win the Europa League, because in the league we done worse this season. We finished 6th. Now we were only 3 points off top 4, but we wouldn't have had Champions League football, but thankfully we do. As, like I said, we won the Europa League. That's massive that we won that. Otherwise, we would have been completely out of the chance of winning the Champions League in Season 5. In terms of the domestic cups, Chelsea beat Burnley in the FA Cup final, and then Liverpool beat United 2-0 in the Carabao Cup final. Here are the player stats. Poku has had a ridiculous season. He got 26 goals. Esposito got 22, Gittins 16, Engels got 8, Flamingo got 5, Poku also got 11 assists, Engels 8 assists, Lavia 7, Siddiqui 6, and Gittins 6 assists. Looking at this squad, come the end of season 4, the goal next season is now to win the Premier League and Champions League. And I think it's very clear as to where we need to improve. It's a new starting midfielder and a new starting centre-back without a doubt. We're probably going to end up splashing all the cash we have, as I'd imagine it will be around 100 mil. We'll probably spend all of that on them 2 positions, and hopefully that'll be good enough to see us win both competitions in season 5. Now, it's all come down to this last final season. Won the Europa League, haven't yet won the Premier League, of course, haven't won the Champions League. We are relying on our board to give us 100+ million so we can bring in the right acquisitions and win them 2 major competitions, and unfortunately we've been let down. We've won the Europa League, done so well in the league with Sunderland, and the way we are rewarded by our board is £76 million. I'm not sure here what we're going to have to do. Might have to make a sale, might a big sale, maybe a few sales. I'm not sure. I don't want to ruin the depth. So I'm going to have to think wisely here. But definite sale at minimum is needed here so we can splash the cash in the midfielder and centre-back, as they are needed. It's a must that we bring in them 2 positions and improve. This player coming through the door is the new starting midfielder coming in from Atletico Bilbao, Mikel Jaragiza. 56.6 million. He comes in, he improves us instantly. Hopefully he can develop throughout the season as well. But he helps us make that midfield much better, and he'll come in as an instant starter. And then following him is a centre-back that does the exact same he does, improves us immediately short term in season 5, starts straight away for us, Goncalo Inacio, coming in from Sporting for a similar fee of £53.8 million. Here is our transfer history. Here is our season 5 transfer history. We've brought in Mikel Jaragiza, brought in Inacio, and then we sold Mukiele and Lafitte as our board didn't give us enough money for the other 2 players, so we had to sell 2 pretty, important depth players. Well, Mukiele was a starter, but now Inacio will start over him. But yeah, 2 pretty big sales there, but we had to in order to improve the 11 because we want to win the Prem and Champions League. Here is the season 5 11. Esposito, Gittins, Poku front 3 with Jaragiza, Lavia, Siddiqui midfield. Flamingo, Inacio, Quaresma, and Matali form the back line with 90 rated roofs in net. The bench is looking solid. Engels, Diarra, and Jantu, Riggs there. Ballard, Patterson, Garcia, Hume, Brobe, 83 rated now. A very good backup striker for us. And I'm looking at that team. Do I think we can win the league? I'll be honest. I think we probably need to get a bit lucky. Don't think it's quite good enough. We didn't quite get the funds we needed to improve the team enough to make us title challengers. But I'm hoping with a bit of luck, we're able to see us win the league. And as for the Champions League, well, let's just hope we're able to fluke it. The 2 goals as we simulate season 5 is to win the Prem and win the Champions League. So it's all come down to this. Season 5, needed to win the Prem, needed to win the Champions League. First competition we will find out is the Prem. Did we do it? We finished 4th in the Premier League. Arsenal won it. We weren't even really close to the title. Very far away. We finished 4th. I mean, I know there's a game left there. We've only played 37, but it doesn't make a difference, really. We've not won the league in season 5. I didn't think that team was quite good enough. Didn't quite get enough money. But at least we won the Europa League. And we also are yet to find out, though, how we did in the Champions League and the other competitions. So potentially, we have won other major trophies. Ford won the FA Cup, beating Man United 1-0. And then as for the Carabao Cup, United losing again, this time to Brighton, who beat them 2-0. And as for the Champions League, we made the quarters. We beat Atletico. I believe we beat them 2-1 away from home. And then we played them at home and we completely bottled it and lost 2-0 and got ourselves knocked out the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And ultimately didn't end up winning the Prem or the Champions League with Sunderland in 5 seasons, but I still believe we rebuilt and built a very solid team. If we played a 6th season, maybe we could have won both. In terms of the season 5 player stats, Esposito got 34, Gittins 22, Poku got 13, Jaragiza on his debut season got 12, and Siddiqui got 9. Jaragiza got 10, Poku got 9, Lavia 8 assists. And this is the team we ended with Sunderland. I think it's a very solid team. Esposito 87, Poku 91, Gittins 90 rated, Russ 91 rated. In that starting 11, obviously, 1, 2, potentially 3 as it stands. Matali isn't a Sunderland player, but maybe he does join them, are real life players. And then we have quite a lot of Sunderland players on the bench as well. This team's a very solid team. I'm looking at it. We definitely could have won the league. I'm surprised we finished as far away as we did. But in 5 years, I think we built a solid team. Ultimately, though, not enough to win the Prem or Champions League. But at least we did win a major trophy in the Europa League in Season 4. And that is that the end of the Sunderland rebuild, 5 years, I thought we built a very solid team, but ultimately it wasn't enough. We didn't win the Prem. We didn't win the Champions League. I'm finding these challenges quite hard, but I do enjoy the difficulty of them. And hopefully our next rebuild, we are actually able to succeed in it. But if you did enjoy this Sunderland rebuild, once again, the support on the YouTube lately has been insane. Thank you guys so much. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.